don't go through this time. All right, welcome to another edition of Seven Cities Radio. I'm the man, not the myth, Mr. Smith. And tonight we're going to be talking Section 8. We're going to talk Section 8 because we have a shutdown of government. There are some people that are saying that welfare is affected, Section 8 is affected. There are people that really want to know a lot of things when it's concerning Section 8. The people, the mindset, the understanding, a whole bunch of stuff. There's a cocktail of things that everybody want to know. There are people that don't know. Hey, who's paying? What are my taxes? How many people? Et cetera, et cetera. Well, tonight I got a treat for you guys here at Seven Cities Radio. I have Miss Marsha Cox. Marsha Cox is an administrator. She is an administrator. She is not a Section 8 receiver. So I think in order to understand this thing, we have to go to a person that was on the administrative side of the house. So, Miss Cox, are you there?
Yes.
Miss Cox, hello. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm great as always. Thank you for asking. Okay, let's just jump right into this thing. We got another 27 minutes. So, when it comes to Section 8, have you ever I'm trying to understand it from on my other platforms. When a person normally is on Section 8, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they're normally on welfare as well as Section 8. Would that be about right?
Yes. Well, you can have both. You can have a job and have Section 8.
Oh, okay.
Your income.
Oh, so you can have a 9 to 5 and be on Section 8.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
it depends on the income guidelines and the family structure, how many kids you have in the household.
Oh, okay. Very good. So if a person was on Section 8 and they were receiving welfare, child support. Is child support factored in when someone is applying, or should I say getting a Section 8 apartment?
Yes, that's considered income. Yes.
Oh, really?
You have to consider any and all income. If it's child support, if it's Social Security, if it's whatever you receive, and all of that is considered income.
Okay. Now, what happens when a woman is on Section 8 and she is getting child support, but the child support payer doesn't pay?
Then she would have to verify that he's not paying in order to not have that income counted.
Is there a window can she say, well, he hasn't paid in the last 3 months, and is there a window of him not paying for you guys to not count it?
Yeah, she has to go down to the child support office and get a printout.
Oh.
And the printout shows each month how much she received and if she didn't receive anything, it would say 0.
Gotcha. So let's just let me give you a scenario here. A woman comes down on Section 8. She gets the apartment. That's where you come in. So you're the administrator. Let's just say out of let's give 3 months: September, October, November. Let's just say she didn't get anything in September. She got something in October, didn't get anything in November, but she got Section 8 in December. Will you guys count that as a non-count, or would you count that as, well, in this last 3 months, you got it 1 month?
It depends on the state and the county that you're in. So typically you sign a year's lease.
Uh-huh.
Some counties say that's it. Your income is your rent is what it was when you first established it.
Gotcha.
And then you only get to change your rent once a year at renewal. We go back and identify your income.
Okay. All right. So as a woman that was working in the administrative side of Section 8, how long did you have that title?
Over 15 years.
Okay, over 15 years. So give my listeners an idea of the various different houses meaning this building, that building. Did you ever have a building you didn't want to go into?
Mhm. Pretty much no. I I worked all the type of properties, your condos, your big what they call big projects, your duplexes, your homes,
Oh,
4 families, 2 families.
oh, okay. Okay. So what would be the situation if you had got called out to a one family home? Because when I think of Section 8, I think of a tall building, everybody in there on Section 8. What would be a situation that you will be called out to a single resident standing building house?
Well, okay, so if it's a single standing home, most of the time they're in a nice community. So if they're not, living up to the community standards, the house, they're not cutting the grass. They're having parties every night. So of course that city council or community agents will get a hold of us to let us know about the infractions that's going on at that location. And then I have to go out and investigate.
Oh, got you, got you. Okay, this is Seven Cities Radio, Hampton's #1 internet radio station. I'm the host, the man, not the myth, Mr. Smith, and we are talking Section 8 here tonight. I have on the Seven Cities line with me, I have Miss Marsha Cox. Miss Marsha Cox was in the Section 8 field for 15 years, and we got her on the line, and we're going to get as much as information that we can get from her in the next 22 minutes. Miss Cox, okay, so single standing home, they're not keeping within the guidelines of the tenement of the association. What do you do once you acknowledge a violation in that single unit home?
Then they get cited for the violations, and depending on the lease agreement, if they get 3, violations, then we can evict.
Wow. So if they get 3 violations, you can evict. Okay. Let's just say you go out there and get 3 violations on one visit. Has that ever happened before?
Yeah, that's happened before. Yes.
Oh, you serious?
They could be out hanging out, fighting. They didn't cut the grass. They have busted windows that they never called in for repair. Things like that.
Got you. Because they, in fact, as a Section 8 tenant, they are actually representing your office.
Right.
So what
they have to, like, if they break a window, we need to know that so we can get out there and fix it right away.
Got you. Okay. So that's a 1-unit home. Explain to me that same scenario on a 4-unit residence. Is it still the same thing? Would you guys have all 4 units? Would you just have one of your units out of 4? So would you have 4 units if it's a 4-unit house?
It depends on the makeup of what the owner wants. So if the owner wants only 1 unit Section 8, then 1 unit is Section 8 and the rest is private. If he wants 2 units Section 8, 1 public housing, then the unit, it depends on the owner and how the makeup he wants of his units, he or she wants of the units.
Have you ever dealt with that? A 4-unit with 2 not being and 2 being?
Yes.
Wow, really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me ask you a question. Why would you think an owner would only want 2 Section 8s and two not?
It depends. Sometimes the owner wants their family there. They have sometimes the owner live in one of the units, and they may want their daughter or son live in another unit.
Oh, got you.
The other 2.
Okay. All right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So now let's talk about a housing project. I'm talking, what was the biggest housing projects you've ever managed?
1,500 units.
Like as in 1,500?
Yes.
Wow. 1,500 units. Miss Cox, I'm just going to be blunt. Did you ever get into any fights?
No, I would lose my job fighting people on this property.
So,
No, sir.
okay, so you managed 1,500 units. What did you, what kind of, give us a scenario as to something that may have happened. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Give me what type of violations would you have in a 1,500? Wow, that is a lot.
You never know what's going to happen on a daily basis. That's what makes the job exciting. So
Exciting.
one day, you can have a fire one day. You can have a murder one day. The electric goes out. There's floods. It's a shooting. It's it's any and everything can happen in a day's time.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. I wasn't, Miss Cox, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. That is okay. So that is a murder or a shooting. Isn't something? Can you narrow that something like that down to the tenant though? Like a murder?
Oh yeah, someone could get shot in an apartment while they fighting or doing partying or what have you, and they get shot in the apartment, or they were arguing and someone gets shot or someone gets murdered, or they die. It happens.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was not looking at it that way. Okay, so that pretty much is self-explanatory when you have a situation like that. All right, so let me take you this way. When you first went to a 1,500 unit, was that your last station or was that your first? I'm trying to get an idea. Were you thrown into the pool pit, or did you have it after you got some type of experience in dealing with that?
No, I moved up. So, I didn't start at when you first started, you don't start at 1,500. You have to work up to that based on your management experience.
Okay. So, I take it your 1,500 was your last place?
Yes.
I take it your 1,500 was your last place? I'm getting some sound inside the thing here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting some sound inside the thing here. All right. So when you go to this place, this new station, your new assignment, it's 1,500 units. What is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing to do when you go in and you try to clean up a property is you find out the non-rent payers. So you start there and you deal with them. The people that haven't paid rent, they need to move. And we need to clean the apartments up and get them ready for people that want to pay.
That situation do people take that out on you? I can imagine, 1,500 people. No, like, I don't think, you were well liked, or I don't mean to.
No.
Oh, so you wasn't well liked?
No, of course. I mean, in the end, yes, once they get to know you and they know you just there to do a job, and everyone following the lease agreement, I'm there to follow their lease that they signed. So we going by the lease agreement, not by what I think should happen. It's by what's legally in their lease agreement.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you gotta you everything is based on a lease agreement, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So what happens? Explain to me what happens. Someone is behind on their rent. All right. Who has to knock on their door with that paper saying
eviction notice? That would be me.
Okay. All right. So you would take because wait a minute. So, but there's a process, isn't it? You don't just take the deficient in your rent. Don't you got to go to court first? Or
no, you have to serve them eviction first. and you have to give them time to pay. And if they don't pay, then you file it in court and ask for a court date.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, so okay, so you have an eviction. You're taking it to someone's house. Have you ever walked up to a unit and let's just say that person was in the hallway and kind of met you in the hallway and you couldn't just hand it to them? It was a confrontation?
No, I mean everyone pretty much knows, that if you don't pay your rent, the manager's gonna come and serve you an eviction notice. So either I hand it to them or I slide it under the door. It just depends.
And so in the 15 years that you was an administrator on the administrative side of the house as a manager of Section 8 tenants, how many years were you at the 1500 assignment?
I was probably about 4 years.
Okay, so in the 4 years, that's 1,200 days or so, whatever. You never had like a disgruntled tenant?
Oh yeah, I have disgruntled tenants every day. There's nothing new.
Okay, so explain to me how you handle a disgruntled tenant.
I mean, you say you playing your music loud, and I send you a lease violation saying your music is too loud. So of course they're gonna come in and they're gonna tell on the neighbors. Well, so and so play their music loud.
Are you serious?
Why I can't play my music loud and this, they're gonna come in and complain. Whatever violation, if you say their house is dirty, we did an inspection. You failed the inspection. Of course they're gonna come in, even though we got pictures. They're gonna come in. My house not dirty. They're gonna come in and be disgruntled. That's just what happens.
Wow. So now Section 8 is a government ran program, correct?
Yes.
All right. So the meat and potatoes of it. So local government structures like this, and it's homeowners and business owners. Of course, the local taxpayers, but homeowners and business owners. So out of those, I don't know if you know this, so I'm just going to ask you. You can say, no, I don't know. But Section 8, is it funded by local government or federal government? Which one funds Section 8?
The federal government, funds it down to your local government.
Okay, so the federal government funds it down to your local government. And so have you ever had somebody that was on Section 8 that had a situation where they was receiving they had more employment than they told you guys, and you had to make an adjustment in their rent? Did that ever happen?
Yes.
Well, what happened when that happened? I'm just curious.
Fraud, that's considered fraud if they didn't report any and all incomes. So it depends on how much they fraud at the government. If it's over a certain amount of money, then they're permanently kicked out of the Section 8 program. Okay,
and were you blamed for that? Did that ever happen with you? Let me just ask that.
Everything's my fault. It's my fault they had a fire. It's my fault they didn't pay rent. It's my fault the house is dirty.
I'm sorry.
For everything.
Wow. So it's your fault for everything. Wow. I am so sorry to hear that. You sound like a beautiful person, and I can only imagine dealing with 1,500 personalities every day. How did you manage to do that?
Well, I had a good staff, and we worked well together, and we all just worked together to do the best job we could on a daily basis. Between your maintenance staff, your clerks, your grounds people, my vendors, we just all worked well together.
Beautiful. Would you go back to it?
Probably.
Okay, so all right, so you've been doing this for 15 years. So have you noticed? Let me just say this, and then you could. I'm gonna set the table for the idea that I'm trying to get you to break down to me. All right, so I've noticed over the years, I've noticed that Section 8 went from um, one one in every 10 to 8 in every 10, and I'm exaggerating, but what I'm saying is over the years, Section 8 seemed to have became the the I'm there, I made it, I'm safe. Like I said in my other show, you would think that Section 8 was taught in school. So many people are on it.
Hmm.
Did you notice an increase from start to finish in the people that were getting it, the younger or
Yes,
whatever?
definitely. Over the years, it's definitely been more and more people on it. They expand the program. They did a big Hope Six project back in the day, a few years ago, where they tear the projects down and they don't build as many. So where it used to be 1,500, maybe it's 500.
Oh,
And then they move the rest of the people out to the neighborhoods in different homes and duplexes, out in your counties and in those areas.
okay. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That does. That makes a lot of sense. So basically, what you're saying is the program, it because I can tell you that what I think is coming from Newark, New Jersey. I've seen projects that got tore down and they put up nice row homes or townhomes, and it really livened the area up, but also it made it attractive for people to want to stay in the system.
Hmm.
So um do you I want to ask you a question, but I don't want you, as a man, men, we kind of ask things that are blunt, and women kind of they take it as, oh, I don't want to be too over observant. So I'm gonna just say this: could you look at somebody and say, oh yeah, they're gonna be on the system for a long time? Or did you ever think that?
No,
Okay.
no.
So, because you can have someone that could get evicted for a certain amount, and then you can have somebody get evicted for a larger amount. What was the lowest amount that you ever have anybody get evicted for?
50 cents. Their rent was 50 cents.
Like in half of a dollar.
Half of a dollar, yes.
Wow.
Hmm. And she
Wow.
just, I, I, I have, um, I have
Wow.
something else I need to do right now.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So you need to go?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I definitely appreciate having you on.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Goose Cox.
And I'll
And
do this again when I
okay.
have more time.
Okay. Sounds good. That was Miss Cox. She is an administrator for Section 8. And I'm gonna tell you something. I love having people come on, and I love having people come on because what people what people don't understand is there is a lot of um, talk going on with Section 8, about Section 8. And what I feel is, though, there are people that don't and will not ever understand Section 8. People, what I believe is that when it comes to Section 8, you will always, and I mean this, you will always meet someone that uh, look at the system as like it's a um, like it's a come up. I believe that. I believe that people that get Section 8, they get Section 8 and they don't want to. I feel as though it's just like they don't want to do better. I feel like that. And they are always put themselves in a situation where they will try to play like they're the victim. They will make like, oh, you know what, I'm the victim. And I'm the victim. And because I'm the victim, you should understand. Now, what I'm gonna do right now, I got a 2-minute clip. I want to play this clip for you guys because I want y'all to listen to this. 7 Cities Radio. Be right back.
Just imagine the perfect small business that you could start. What would that look like?
I want to go ahead and brace you all for what is getting ready to happen. The budget has been cut by hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. The HUD department budget has been slashed. You may qualify for a 4-bedroom, but if you have a child, a female child that's under the age of 10, that child now has to sleep in a room with you. And also, if the children, even if it is a boy and a girl, if they under the age of 10, they gonna have to share the same room. Come January the 20th, everything that President Trump has elected to do, it is getting ready to take effect immediately. Hundreds of millions of dollars have now been slashed from the HUD department. So many of you are getting ready to lose your Section 8 vouchers. You become so comfortable with living a certain lifestyle, living in a certain type of house. I understand all of that because to come up, let me tell you something. Section 8 was only meant to be a stepping stone, not for you all to say you not been on Section 8 20, 30 years. That's crippling yourselves. You place your own self in exile by remaining on Section 8 that damn long. You cannot do this. It is nobody's bragging rights to say that you have lived in public housing for 15, 20 years. That ain't no bragging right. Blatant stupidity. That's what that is.
That woman, what she just said, it's no one's bragging right to say that you've been on Section 8 for 30 years. It's a reason why that woman said that. The reason why that woman said that is because that is, in fact, what people do. They'll sit up there and they'll brag about being on Section 8 for 30 years. People, I'm going to tell you something. What I learned in my short time here on this earth, I learned that when it comes to, and I've seen the change. Let's be clear. I've seen it go from just something to being it. And when I mean being it, I mean that I've seen individuals on welfare in Section 8 that are making absolutely no type of strive to do better. They're not doing it. I've seen it. I've seen individuals that was on Section 8 and these individuals acted as if life was over. They acted as if no matter what happened, they were already in the clear. They acted as if they had already made it to home base. I have met and seen individuals on Section 8 and welfare, and over the years, I've watched it change. I've watched it change. So now, when you have an individual that is receiving assistance, people, this is when we get the I don't need and I don't need. I'm not going to say what, but this is where we get all this talk from. You can't tell somebody something, and from what I believe is the unfortunates of Section 8 and welfare. It has replaced a lot of fathers. A lot of fathers have been replaced. I believe that. And I've seen it. I would not be telling you the truth if I told you that I didn't have a certain prejudice against any type of government assistance. I personally think when it comes to government assistance, I think it weakens us as a people. And I think that individuals that are on it are not doing themselves any justice. That's what I think.
Is you've oppressed yourself to those living conditions. And now all of a sudden, now y'all.
That woman said, you oppress yourself to those living conditions, right? You know, the amazing thing about what this woman is talking about, if I personally was to go to a group of women and say to these group of women, you are oppressing yourself by being on Section 8, they'd run me out of the building. They would run me out of the building. If I was to go up to a group of women and say that you are enabling yourself by being on Section 8, those women would run me out of the building.
To blame, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all finna blame Trump for all of this when you got comfortable while Barack Obama was in office.
Okay, what she just said is you got comfortable. Now y'all fitting. I'm going by what she said. She said y'all fitting to blame Trump when y'all got comfortable when Barack Obama was in office. If I, too, was to go and say that to a group of people, I would get bashed. Once again, I would get ran out of the building. I would get ran out of the building. If I was to say these words, I would get accused of bashing and I would get ran out of the building. Everything that this woman is saying is absolutely 100% the truth. Once again, I can be honest with people and tell people that I have a certain prejudice against welfare and Section 8, all these programs. And I have a certain prejudice, against these programs is because these programs, they enable everything that she's saying. But on my other forum, when I mention this, I get criticized. I get told, no, there's just no way this is possible. That's what I get told.
The come up should have been you making strides to move yourself and your children up out of poverty. This is why I tell you all that organization and unification is so real in our race, but y'all taking advantage of situations that shouldn't even be happening.
That woman said, y'all are taking advantage of a situation that should not be happening. Y'all are taking advantage of a situation that should not be happening. Gee, I wonder what situation that could be. I wonder what situation that is that people are taking advantage of that should not be happening. Because once again, when I speak about these things, I come under criticism. I come under some type of bash rule. I don't know what it is, like a bash rule. It's like a bash rule. I come up under a bash rule. Like, you can't ever do that. Don't do that, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I come under. I come under a bash rule. When what I call myself is speaking the facts. That's what I call myself. I call myself speaking the facts. And I'm gonna see if I can find that full version. That woman actually gave a nice a big warning. She actually oh, there it is. So I'm gonna play this for you. I want y'all to listen to this.
Democrats have become the party of open borders, crime, and abolishing our.
Very well said. I don't like Democrats. So.
Good morning, everybody. It's the beautiful one, baby. I'm sitting up here this morning at Apple and Eagle Car Wash getting
the beautiful one
because I got a lot of miles I need to put on this weekend. So okay. You know what I'm saying? She got to be looking tight and looking right as I stroll through the city.
Okay.
But as y'all can see in my subtitle, this is a Section 8 update. My inside connection with the U.S.
So this woman is given a Section 8 update. She's warning people on Section 8. She's warning them. And she's warning them because this is such a life-threatening thing. So she's warning them. Didn't come with no how to get off the system programs of, try to better yourself. No, I'm coming with a warning. Trump is about to cut Section 8. Don't hate the 8. Don't hate.
Department of HUD up in D.C. just gave me a call. I want to go ahead and brace you all for what is getting ready to happen, okay? Now that President-elect Donald Trump is going to be sworn in January, there are getting ready to be some significant changes and some abrupt changes with the Section 8 housing voucher and public housing. So I want to go ahead and brace you all so you all can go ahead and start making preparations right now, so you know that you've already been warned. Y'all know when I find that information, I get on and I warn my people. Okay, the budget has been cut by hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. The HUD department budget has been slashed. So what they're doing,
the unique thing about that warning is it's kind of like you're the lookout person for a bank robber. You ever know how when you go, you know how when you go into a city that a block where they're selling drugs, and the second that cop come cruising down that street, you hear people on the rooftops whistling. They're whistling. They're warning. I don't know. I think giving a heads up is a good thing, and giving a warning in this case is like somebody is doing something bad when you say you're giving somebody a warning. I don't know.
Qualify for a 4-bedroom, but if you have a child, a female child that's under the age of 10, that child now has to sleep in a room with you. Okay, so and now what they're doing also, if the children, even if it is a boy and a girl, if they under the age of 10, they gonna have to share the same room. Y'all have to understand what's happening to us. They are slowly but surely knocking us out the damn park. This is something that I've been trying to tell you all
Listen what this woman said. Hold on.
along. You have to.
This woman said, I messed around and hit the damn thing. This woman said, they are slowly but surely knocking us out of the park. This is what she said. But she's not on Section 8 of welfare. She's not on it. She's warning people that are on it, and she's saying they're knocking us out of the park. They're not knocking us out of the park. That woman has a job. The one thing that just amazes me with people that are on Section 8 and welfare is if you talk to 10 people and 7 of them got jobs and 3 of them don't, 3 of them are on the system. Those women that are not on the system, if you take 10 women, excuse me, I said 10 people. If you take 10 women and 7 had jobs and not living off the system, and 3 were living on the system, those 7 would embrace those 3 as if they were the same, and they're not. It's a different mindset when you're on the system especially for a long period of time. When you're on the system for a long period of time, you have absolutely no interest in forward movement, none. You don't. So it's not the same. But she said they're knocking us out off the park. No, they're not. You have a job.
Go ahead and brace you all so you all can go ahead and start making preparations right now. So you know that you've already been warned. Y'all know when I find that information, I get on and I warn my people. Okay, the budget has been cut by hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. The HUD department budget has been slashed. So what they're doing, you may qualify for a 4-bedroom, but if you have a child, a female child that's under the age of 10, that child now has to sleep in a room with you. Okay, so and now what they're doing also.
Let me tell you something. People, I was homeless before. And when I was homeless, I just needed shelter. I think that's the biggest problem with Section 8. I think the biggest problem with Section 8 is you're giving individuals a home. Sometimes people don't need a home. They just need shelter.
If the children, even if it is a boy and a girl, if they under the age of 10, they gonna have to share the same room. Y'all have to understand what's happening to us. They are slowly but surely
knocking us off
the damn park. This is something that I've been trying to tell you all along.
People in the white community, white people roll with their grades of people. In the black community, a black person will sit there and stick with the same friends that they had before, knowing that they have grown apart, but they are under the impression that they must stick with these people because that woman is saying they are slowly knocking us off the park, not her. That woman is saying all these things like they're in the same boat. I know I'm emphasizing a lot on that, but that is the biggest problem in the Black community. I actually did a show today on my other forum, and the name of that show was helping individuals understand that actually the different grades of minorities. We are not the same. We need to just go ahead and acknowledge that now. We are not the same. We need not to constantly keep sitting up and thinking that all of us are the same. The people that make the news are the people that do crimes. Those people that do crimes and make the news, they are not these group of people over here that get up every day, own homes and work. They're not. We're different.
You have to, you know what I'm saying? You got to brace yourself at all times. You all got too comfortable and cozy with Barack Obama being in there. Y'all thought he was going to be in the White House forever?
Let me just put this on record. I absolutely hate Democrats. Democrats are not and won't do, in my opinion, do things to build up the country. The Democrats, their logic is, all you have to do is just vote on me and I will continue to give you.
I understand some of y'all, but come on, y'all got to wake up. Y'all got to wake up. I need for y'all to start getting yourselves together right now, because come January the 20th, everything that President Trump has elected to do, it is getting ready to take effect immediately. Hundreds of millions of dollars have now been slashed from the HUD department. So many of you are getting ready to lose your Section 8 vouchers. You become so comfortable with living a certain lifestyle, living in a certain type of house. I understand all of that because
see, just listen to her. She said, y'all got comfortable with living a certain lifestyle. I understand all that, when in fact she shouldn't understand that.
Let me tell you something. Section 8 was only meant to be a stepping stone, not for you all to say you've not been on Section 8 20, 30 years. That's crippling yourselves.
Yes, it is.
You place your own self in exile by remaining on Section 8 that damn long. You cannot. Okay.
I'm gonna learn them out.
What she mean is, and what she didn't say is, when she say you put yourself in exile, let's be clear. When she say they put themselves in exile, they put themselves in exile from life. That's what, from life.
That you have lived in public housing for 15, 20 years. That ain't no bragging right. That's blatant stupidity. That's what that is. You've oppressed yourself to those living conditions. And now all of a sudden, now y'all finna blame, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all finna blame Trump for all of this when you got comfortable while Barack Obama was in office. When the come up should have been you making strides to move yourself and your children up out of poverty.
Yep. They will blame Trump, number one. And number two, that's exactly right. And as I just stated, this is why I don't like Democrats. I don't like Democrats because that's all they do. They will set the bed for individuals to stay on Section 8 and welfare for the longest to make comfortable. You know why? So when it's time to vote, you vote for them again.
This is why I tell you all that organization and unification is so real in our race, but y'all taking advantage of situations that shouldn't even be happening. Come on, y'all. We got to tighten the reins up. Y'all know y'all big sister. Some of y'all call me big mama, and some of y'all older than me. But if I got to be big mama, if I got to be the big sister, if I got to be cousin, if I got to be all of that, just know I'm the voice that's going to make sure that y'all know what's going on. Because come January the 20th, a lot of y'all are getting ready to be in for a rude damn awakening.
So she's big cousin. She's the force. She's the thing. And the best thing she can do as being a force is keeping everybody on how to continue to live off of taxpayers. As I stated earlier, it's a mindset.
in on Section 8 and living in public housing. And I feel so bad for y'all because some of y'all have done it to yourselves. You condition yourselves to live off that SSI check, that SSA check, that disability check, your child's check, this child support, all of this stuff. Y'all have conditioned yourselves to live in these type of conditions. You condition yourself to live in poverty. You condition
people. That's what's wrong with the black community. That's what's wrong. I always say, if they don't teach it in school, don't do it as an adult. You will never go to no school and learn how to live off the system. There are more of this situation than there should be.
Your children to live in poverty. If y'all got enough common sense to get on the internet, if y'all got enough common sense to get on the internet and do them things, okay, you got enough common sense to get your ass on the internet and create a resume and get a damn job. Now, I'm tired of the excuse.
She was about to say she's tired of the excuses. And the amazing thing is, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like she's helping them prolong this way of life. That's what it sounds like.
Excuses. We full of goddamn excuses. Oh, why you couldn't make it to work? Oh, why you couldn't go to school? Oh, why you couldn't participate in this program? Oh, why you couldn't go to this community meeting? Oh, why you couldn't do this? And why you couldn't do this? And why you couldn't do that? Stop being full of damn excuses. This is happening. This is happening. So while y'all finna go out and spend all your money on all these Christmas gifts and all that bullshit, you better be saving up your money to goddamn rent a U-Haul or a Penske truck, because you're gonna have to be moving to downsize, because all Section 8 vouchers have now been downsized. Do you understand with me? All Section 8 vouchers have been downsized. You all were supposed to be preparing yourselves and getting yourselves together in these last 8 years that Barack Obama was in the White House. Now here come Trump putting Ben Carson.
So now, let me make sure I understand. Man, I sure understand this. What that woman just said is, everybody that's getting Section 8 and welfare, this has only been an 8-year occurrence, because this only started happening when Barack Obama got into office, a Democrat. All right.
Over HUD, and Ben Carson said it when he was running for president.
What'd he say?
He said it on his campaign trail.
What'd he say?
That man do not like poor people. He don't like public housing. He don't like Section 8. So
I'm poor. I'm poor. You know, according to the financial scale, I'm poor. I feel no effects of Ben Carson. None. I love Ben Carson. I read his book. I have his book. What he's saying, what he's doing, not bothering me at all. I'm poor. I got a bag of chips on the way.
what you think finna happen to you? I can only tell y'all what he said in his comments.
What'd he say?
Google his name and look at his comments.
Gifted hands come up.
Videos.
Brain surgeon come up.
Trying to tell you,
surgeon comes up.
This was getting ready to happen, but y'all didn't want to listen. And now some of y'all finna be crying. Y'all can't go live with your mama. You can't go live with your daddies. You can't even go live with your children. This is real.
Excuse me.
This is real. And I feel so bad. I feel so bad this is happening to our people.
She feels bad that a system that she said is enabling people is about to get the boot. Well, all right.
Happening to our people. So this what we getting ready to do.
Well, what you get ready to do?
This what we getting ready to do. I got a plan, and y'all know everything ain't meant for Facebook. Everything ain't meant for social media. So this what I'm gonna do. This Saturday, listen. This Saturday at 9 a.m. Y'all need to come to 8230 Causeway Boulevard. Come see me. We're gonna have a urgent community meeting up there at the cafe up on Causeway Boulevard, because we need to talk about some things off of social media. Everything ain't meant for social media. You understand what I'm saying? But I got a trick up my sleeve. We finna get around this.
So what she said was people should have been bracing themselves and all that. Then she turns around and say, we about to get around this. They can't do this to us. We got a trick up our sleeve. That's where we at. I'm going to go through the internet and I'm going to find just how many Caucasian women I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through the internet and find just how many Caucasian women are warning their people about the cuts that's coming. It is what it is, y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all for sitting in with me for this edition of Seven Cities Radio. I'm the man, not the myth, Mr. Smith. I will definitely catch you guys on the next one.